Hi. On October 2022, the markets were freaking out. The fear and greed index was in the mid-teens, panic level. Everyone was selling. I told you then, don't be a lemming, don't sell. What did the market do since then? It is up almost 80%. Nice, sure is. But what do you know? The past week, the market was freaking out again. Why this time? Well, Trump was laying off tariffs right, left, and center on Canada, Mexico, China, Europe, everyone. So the market plunged, emitting black smoke like a Messerschmitt shot down by a Spitfire. Again, everyone was selling. In fact, I got several emails from friends who are normally calm, but who were now freaking out too. What did I do? I added to some of my positions. Why? Because the fear and greed index reached that panicky level of 16, similar to October 2022. Why panic this time? Because the market apparently saw in Trump's new tariffs shades of Smoot-Hawley. Smoot-Hawley, of course, was the infamous law that set up tariffs in the late 1920s, early 1960s, that were allegedly the cause of the 30s depression. Tariffs are a sort of blockage of international trade, and the fear was that Trump was just instigating this again. Well, are we about to enter a depression? As the man said in the movie The Gladiator, not just yet. In my opinion, just my opinion, the market has still quite a bit of uphill run, up, before it reaches euphoria levels. Why? For two main reasons. First is the fear and greed index, which I just mentioned. The market never peaks on a panic, but on euphoria. But second is the yield curve. As I told you before, when the yield curve is negative, it heralds both a recession and a peak of the market, but it also gives you an idea about a peak's timing. An extremely long yield curve negative, like the one we just went through, means a market plunge, but also gives an idea when the market tops out. In the past, the market peaked 3 to 9 months after the yield curve went back to positive, once even 12 months after. Based on that, and on the extreme bond printing by the former US Treasury Secretary, and also the extreme bearishness I just spoke about, I think this market will confuse everyone and shoot up here. Yes, up. So what of President Trump's tariffs? I think he realized he made a mistake. He used the tariffs to scare Canada and Mexico and ended scaring the entire market, where his voters are invested. So there's a good likelihood he'll pull back, as he has already. In fact, one of the proofs is that the Secretary of Treasury, Scott Bessent, said he'd like to see oil below $50. Lower oil is bound to push the market up, just as lower interest rates do. But the panic, is it just because of the tariff? No. I'm told by some of my most trusty Washington sources that Trump wants to pass a big, beautiful overall one bill through Congress. This, I am told, is an existential issue for the Republicans. If the bill is delayed, the economy won't react in time to help them keep the Congress in their hands. Democrats are, of course, trying to delay the bill, but even some treacherous Republicans are trying to do it. So the market scare may have been part of Trump's strategy to scare his own congressional members into voting for the bill. Will it work? Both I and my informers think it will. So combine the GOP need for the bill with the recent market panic and the planned fall in oil prices, and the market is almost sure to rise here. I said almost. But yes, it is politics that drive the market, not economics. Bottom line, I think the panic is close to over. The stock market will rise, and before year end, we'll get to the low to mid 7,000s on the S&P. That's about 35% up from today. And then, by then, probably before year end, the fear and greed index will be at 85 to 90, with the internet singing Trump's and the Fed's praises, and this, most likely, will be the time to start selling, but not now. As Buffett used to say, buy when everyone is pessimistic, sell when everyone is optimistic. Yes, this means you have to act against your emotions, which is hard, yes, but then nobody ever said investing is easy, have they? All right, so hold on to the stocks and don't sell. Any other ideas? Yes, let me give you two. First is bonds. Bonds, I already told you a few weeks ago, I see rising from that point on. When I said this, the 10-year rate was 4.6%, and I was forecasting a rate of 0% in less than 2 years. which would bring the TLT, the 20-year bond ETF, from 88 to 180, maybe even more by 2027. And indeed, bonds have already begun to move. The 88 has become 91 today. What now? Today, the 10-year rate is already down to 4.3%. How to know what to be the target price? Well, the first approximation of the TLT move is the duration, 16.2 years, times the rate difference. The 10-year today is 4.3. I can see it going down to 2.5 or 1.8% lower by year end. This would kick the TLT about 30% higher, maybe even 33%, due to something called convexity. This means from 91 today, the TLT can go to 110 or 120 before year end. So that's one. Now one more, and this one is the sleuthing exercise of a walking wallet. What's that? Again, I told you before, a walking wallet is a stock whose enterprise value is less than zero. In other words, you are buying it for less than net cash. The stock is Pyxis, Pyxs, Pyxis Oncology. The company is developing anti-cancer medication. It has a market cap of $70 million, but an enterprise value of negative $70 million. That is, it has $140 million of net cash. What's the enticement? Pyxis has lots of R&D. They spend about $190 million of R&D over the last 3 years on new medications. And why is this important? Because although the R&D has not yet been proven, it may still create products. So why am I pointing it out? Because there was a wave of insider buying, also known as cluster buys, in the stock, which means that the R&D may still work out. And even if not, the company is selling for less than the cash, much less. So is Pyxis a buy? I, of course, don't know. For this, you've got to sleuth it out. See to the test of your sleuthing skills as outlined in my 2 books, The Sleuth Investor and The Advanced Sleuth Investor. To sum up, 1, don't be swayed by the current panic. Don't be a lemming. Hold on to your stocks and wait for euphoria. 2, meantime, US T-bonds, as represented by the TLT, may rise 30% before year-end. I say may. Number 3, and to avoid boredom in the meantime, you can try your sleuthing skills on Pyxis, Pyxs. Who knows? You may even find out why most of the insiders have been buying. That's all for today. Please let me know in the comment below what you think of the above, and if you like it, subscribe to the channel and forward to all your subscribers and friends who they subscribe to, and buy my books, The Sleuth Investor, The Advanced Sleuth Investor, and if you like them, please give them a review on Amazon, which I hope will be a very good one. I'll see you next time, and meantime, thank you very much for watching.